my channel. My name is Miranda. If you're new here, if you're back.
What?
You don't know my intro?
Subscribe,
hey,
come
hello.
back later,
Wait.
and then it's cool.
Hey, hello. I don't know the rest.
Hey, what's up? Hello.
Oh, hey, what's up? Hello.
Okay. You kind of knew it. You're just a fake fan. Anyways, I'm uploading a video every single day for October. And today is day 7. If you want to see the schedule, it's down below. Anyways, today... Okay. Stop! Today they're going to be telling their scary stories from our old haunted house. I wasn't lying when I said it was haunted, so they're going to tell you what happened to them. If you like this video, make sure to
check
like
the box
and subscribe.
Hit the bell. Notifications don't mean nothing anymore.
Okay, close enough. Who's going to go first? You're already back.
Why is she laughing?
Slide your fingers under the door. Get out. You're ruining everything.
So, just start?
Yep.
Okay.
Well, you could tell a little story on, like, the house.
Okay, so when we moved into our house back in Maryland, we moved in and Miranda would have been 7. Sydney was 2 at the time. Eliana didn't exist. When we first moved into the house, it was only a 900 square foot house. We had plans to build onto it. So Miranda and Sydney shared a room, and John and I were directly across the hall from them. The first scary thing that had happened was it was about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and Sydney started screaming at the top of her lungs. And I ran in there to check on her, and she was terrified, screaming that there was a girl sitting at the end of her bed.
I didn't know she did that too.
Yes, that's what makes the whole thing so creepy.
That's 10 times worse now. I didn't know she did that first.
Of course, I brushed it off. I was like, it was just the cat, or you were having a bad dream. So we kind of brushed it off. She still talked about it, always talked about the woman in white, the girl in the white at the end of her bed. Eventually we built onto the house. Well, right after we built onto the house, by then Eliana was born, and she was a baby, not super baby because she could talk some, but she was in her crib, and it was around the same time in the morning, about 2-3 o'clock in the morning, and she started screaming at the top of her lungs. I went running into her bedroom. She kept pointing up to the corner of her room going, "She scared me, she scared me." Shaking.
I didn't know it was at 3 a.m. either.
Somewhere around there, because it was the middle of the night. She just kept pointing, screaming, "She scared me, she scared me," and shaking to the point where I couldn't calm her down. I had to remove her from her crib, take her into our bedroom. And the next day I went to go into her bedroom, and she refused to step foot in there.
She was shook.
Shook. All she talked about was the girl who scared her. She scared me, she scared me. It took her probably a good week of us trying to finally get her back into her room because she was so terrified. So I went in there every day and prayed over the room and took a Bible in there. Miranda and Sydney would go in there with us, and we'd sit them down and we'd play in there, just trying to get Eliana to come back in there because she was that terrified of it.
Did we know this was happening at the time?
Who? You and
Yeah.
Sydney?
Or were you too little?
I mean, you would have been what? You would have been like 12. But I don't know that we told you guys.
Yeah, like why we were all in the room holding hands praying. Please leave.
It wasn't long after that, I was up in the attic. I had gone up the attic steps, and John was standing at the bottom of the attic steps, and I heard crystal clear, I'm standing up in the attic, crystal clear, I hear, "Hey!" And I flew down those attic steps, and I looked at John. He's like, "What is wrong with you?" I said, "I heard somebody say hey." He's like, "Come on. That's ridiculous." And I was like, "I promise you, I heard it. I'm not going back up there anytime soon." Fast forward a couple weeks later, and then that's when that stuff started happening to you.
I sure did.
Well, you're supposed to tell the camera.
I know, but there's only one story that I have, and that's when I was trying to fix the curtains in the living room. I was standing on the chair fixing curtains. That's what it looked. It was like this. It's just in the curtains like that, and then I felt something pull on my shirt, the bottom of my shirt like that, like 3 big tugs, And then I looked and there was nothing there.
Do you think
at
it was
all.
one of us?
No. No. Well, I mean, at first I did, because, didn't think of that, but there was no one around. It was just me in the whole living room itself. It was right after, I think, is when the whole clothes hamper thing happened.
Well, first it was the measuring cups.
Oh,
so,
yeah, but that went on for a long time. Though,
Clothes hamper? I don't know that.
The basket with the blankets in it. He said clothes hamper. It was the basket I used to have with all the blankets in it. So then, like, week or two later, I went into the kitchen and I was baking or cooking or something, and I was looking for my measuring spoons or my measuring cups. I couldn't find them anywhere. Back in Maryland, we had an itty bitty little tiny kitchen. So I knew that it wasn't gonna be hard to find them. Looked and looked and looked, couldn't find them anywhere. Ended up having to buy new measuring cups. Didn't think anything of it at the time. There was another day, Eliana was a baby. She was in one of the little swings in the middle of the floor, and I went to go grab laundry out of our laundry room to fold, and I come back and we had this big basket that I folded and kept all of our blankets in. The girls every day would grab their blanket out of it, refold it, and put it back in there. I walked out and I came back in and it was just Eliana and I in the house. Again, she was a baby in a swing, so the basket had been moved to the direct center of the floor. And obviously, nobody around that could have done it. I called John hysterical. I mean, there was nothing I could do about it. So then, a month later, we're saying goodnight to the girl. I go out into the kitchen, and in the kitchen on the counter, stacked in order from biggest to smallest, is all my measuring cups. The old ones that I couldn't find previously.
I don't like that. Why did they have to be in order? Why couldn't they just be like...
And so John comes out in the kitchen. I'm like, you're ridiculous. Why are you even messing with me? He's like, I promise you, I did not do that. And I was like, John, this is not funny. It's like, I promise you, I didn't do that. And so the measuring cups I had been missing for a month. And mind you, it wasn't like I could have mistaken it for my new measuring cups because they were different colors. I actually still have those measuring cups. It's those purpley, maroony.
Those are the ones that disappeared?
Mm-hmm. And they were stacked in order.
Sorry, but where does that stuff go?
I don't know.
How can something that you can't see pick up
It's right in front of you, but in a different dimension, so you just can't touch it.
Well, then how can it touch the stuff? Didn't you say you got smacked in the middle of the night and you thought someone was coming to wake you up too?
There were times where I got startled awake. Like I felt somebody and I would wake up and you girls, nobody would be around.
I've done that, but you were strangling me.
No, that was, I put my hand over
that's
your
right.
face.
Yeah, you did.
Stop
That was
you
really
from
cool.
snoring.
Yeah, it was a good time.
And that was in my sleep. I didn't mean to do it.
It was a ghost.
I was gonna say, the ghost told me to
grabbed
do
her
it.
hand and was like...
It told me to do it.
I just looked at the time, it was 12:42. That was our old address.
Ooh, TikTok haunted.
I didn't even look at that till now and it was 12:42.
There's a bunch of other little odds and ends too.
I mean, the house was what? It was built in the 50s.
Yeah.
So it was an old house. And it was actually a little beach bungalow, so we don't even know how many times maybe it possibly had been built onto or added to. But, I mean, our theory kind of was like the whole theory of once you start building, you start disturbing them. Because it all really started happening. Because the day we moved into that house, we already had plans to build. And it took us a year to get everything approved, but it was, we were already starting to dig up the yard and put new septic in and different stuff like that. So, and then it was after the building started that it was during and after that really the scary stuff happened. Because Ellie's bedroom was in the new portion.
I remember one time I was getting to the shower, I don't know if you remember this or not. You know how, like, in water you can hear stuff?
Mm-hmm.
I heard him shout my name, and so I was like, what? Because I had just turned the water on, I just got into the bathroom, and I heard you scream my name, so I came out and was like, what? And no one was there. I think, like, Ellie or Sydney or someone was watching TV. I was like, why did he just scream my name? She was like, he's not even here.
It was a lot of weird stuff that happened like that all the time. Stuff would go missing.
Yeah, it happened a lot. Missing stuff all the time.
Yeah, and then it would just either reappear or we just never even relocated it.
Didn't the remote disappear?
I don't know, I had a necklace of mine disappear. Never did find it. I mean, I can talk about the Ouija board, or is that a different?
That's a different story.
Oh.
You just gave him a sneak peek.
A sneak peek. I got lots of Ouija board stories.
You want to tell them stuff that happened here? At our new house, we moved from Maryland to Florida. If you've been watching me, you know I've kind of told their stories, but if you want to hear their side of it, you see shadows in your room?
Oh, well, the shadows I see walk by the doorways all the time.
Yes.
I mean, that just happened the other day. I was like,
good.
Don't you remember? We were all standing in the kitchen. And I said, did you just see that?
No? When?
We were all sitting in the kitchen like one night before dinner. And then that's when we all started talking about how you all have seen shadows.
Did I hear that? Maybe I heard Ellie talking about it and then... I didn't hear you say that, but for sure something always walks from where the little air conditioning thing is to your room.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
just goes like... Shh.
Yeah.
Like that.
No, like... Shh.
Not that fast.
It just like glides by though, so I'm like, okay, someone's walking by, and then I realized that it was like... Didn't take like steps, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, I see it. I always see it going like this. Like a burglar.
Huh.
He sneaks from room to room.
Something's for sure over there.
Yeah, and we were all standing in the kitchen. We were all getting our plates ready for dinner. And I said that, and then that's when we all started conversating.
What color did you see it?
It was black. It was a black figure.
I've been seeing it black now, but before, remember I used to say it, it was like a light gray.
Yeah.
And now it's black, so either there's two, or it's trying to scare us.
Or it's gaining strength.
Oh my gosh, off of our fear. It's eating our fear. What do you think the shadow is? Do you think it followed us?
I don't know. I mean, they
We didn't see shadows
say...
there.
Huh?
We didn't see shadows at the other place.
But the stuff happened, it could be getting stronger and you don't even know. Oh, we all wake up with scratches. Well, me and her do.
Yeah, I have woken up with scratches.
I wake up with scratches and weird bruises in places that doesn't even make sense. Like on the outside of my leg for no reason. She gets scratches on her face and her arms.
So are you guys assuming that a spirit jumped in a U-Haul with us and drove down here?
They
How it works?
We have a lot of
follow you.
old stuff. Like they can attach to old antique furniture, different stuff.
And if
Think
they
about
liked
everything we have. There's a
But
lot of...
that's just my question with that though. Okay, it's attached to some creepy old...
But did we have all
Whatever
that
it is
stuff
you
in
have.
Maryland?
Well, the vanity that Sydney has, that's the one that I bought at the antique store.
Oh, that's haunted.
See, we didn't even bring the mirror in because everybody was freaked out about the mirror. Grandma and Pop's house was haunted as crap.
Seriously?
Oh yeah, not Mom and Pop's where they all lived, but the one when we all moved in with my grandparents when Mom and Pop were helping take care of them. That house was most definitely haunted.
I never
Kendra-
even heard that before.
Oh yeah, Kendra.
You
and I
should save
had
that
some
for the Ouija board.
creepy stories.
Save that for the Ouija board one.
Okay. Like I was terrified if I had to go to the basement because it was 3 stories, and if I had to go to the basement, oh my gosh, I would, and the stairs were super steep, I would fly up those stairs. And Grandma had all those creepy dolls from when she was a kid, which you know those suckers were old.
Those suckers were old when she got it, that means.
Oh my gosh, so creepy.
So here's my question about the ghost sticking with objects now.
No, not, well, it could be objects, but it could be us.
I know, but we're talking about objects. And so we're talking about before things. And so we're all assuming when everything's in storage, if we had a ghost viewing machine, we look in there and we see like 6 ghosts like this sitting in a storage box because they're bored and they can't go nowhere.
I
Is
mean,
that what
I
we're saying?
think you take it to a whole new level.
Well, no, they're stuck there. That's what I'm saying. So what,
Yep, and they're all just sitting
I don't
there
know if they're
playing
stuck.
cards.
I don't know if they're stuck there,
This sounds made up. Ghosts don't play cards.
but they can move measuring cups.
Yeah, it's not cards. They don't play games. They're for reals.
Apparently, they can just like dip in and out of dimensions.
Mhm.
So that
Yeah.
doesn't necessarily mean that they're always there. It means they can come back to that thing that they like. That's what I think. Like they can hang out in their own ghost dimension, but when they come back for whatever reason to this dimension, or they want to, I don't know,
is
that's what they go to. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mhm.
You believe in ghosts, but you also think,
That 99% of what people say or think or machines or stuff they do is poop because it's all made up.
I have to agree. That's why I can't watch all your ghost shows.
Well, it's mostly for entertaining, and they probably can get some stuff, you know. But I mean, You can't, like, a lot of this stuff I think is just so random, and then everyone tries to attach whatever thought process they want with it. They've done studies on that stuff. But they have done studies and stuff too. They can't figure out a lot what goes on with EVPs though. They say they can pull those things straight out, and people play them or do whatever, and people catch stuff, and they've got tons of people that said they got no idea how that happens. But then again, what you hear in the EVP is totally up to you a lot of times, unless it's super clear. Otherwise, people can kind of hear what they want to hear out of it. But
and then all they have to do is say what they hear.
And they're like,
that's
oh yeah, that's what it says.
Yeah. And then that's all you hear too.
But it still don't really take away from them hearing things, and you hear voice or whatever, you know what I mean? And you can tell it's guttural or it's, you know, vocal. That's a problem with all those shows and stuff like that too. Nothing can do nothing. Everything's so strong and powerful to chase them back down to their house and toss couches around and everything. But the best thing you can do when you get there and you try and investigate is they hear, hey, you hear that? Yeah, I heard one knock outside down the road.
He said,
yeah, it's communicating with me. Why? It said, did you hear it? Oh no, it's super strong. It possesses people, it throws people and chokes people and scratches them and writes things in their chest, but it can't move a piece of paper on the counter. Yeah. So that's all bogus. There's something going on there.
I don't know. I just know what has happened to me in the past. I'm excited to talk about the Ouija board.
Last and final question. Do you think I'm haunted?
Clearly.
They follow her. Well, and I think there's certain people who are more receptive to it.
Mm-hmm. Like Canadians.
What? I definitely think they follow you because no matter where you go, even when you were super young, you would try, or you're more receptive to it, right? Is that the word?
I got my third eye open.
Ew.
It's starting to sound more and more made up as this goes on.
That's our story.
And I'm haunted.
And I'm haunted.
So that was all for their story time. They're going to be here more in the series. So if you want to see that, stay tuned. If you like this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Follow me on socials so we can become friends. Let me know what you think of their stories. Tell me if you think they're lying.
Hey, that's not nice.
Click on the bell notifications because subscriptions don't mean near as much nowadays.
Why do you know that?
He researches it.
No, I'll watch it. And that's what they say on the shows I watch on YouTube.
Oh, every time they click, they say click the bell?
Yeah, click the bell because subscriptions don't mean nothing anymore. I'm famous. So famous.
Anyways, I'll see you tomorrow for Reaction Monday. Thanks so much for watching.
Super famous.
Say bye, Felicia.
Bye.com.
Put your hand over the camera.
Oh.
You gotta touch it. It doesn't work unless the screen goes black at the point.
You can't bend that.
Yeah, I was
my
trying to put it up there.
God.
Yeah,
I thought he was trying to cover the screen.
I was.
The screen?
I feel like I wasn't covering. I was like, what's going on here? I'm dumb.
Okay, bye.